So we have successfully imported that. So let's just resize it. So to resize this, you have to hold shift while you resize. So this is looking a bit faded. Let's push it further. Let's increase the visibility. How is this looking? Let's increase this a bit more. Okay, so let's take this a bit up. No, let's take it up a bit. No, this. Okay, let's push this up a bit. Okay, not looking that bad. So you can actually use whichever cups you want to use. So as you can see here, I used a different cup. So the choice is entirely yours. Even though I'm actually liking the cup I used here better than this one, but the choice is entirely yours. Okay. 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 So the next thing we have to do is let's work on this. So coffee shop sales dashboard with Lucas Studio. So to do that again, we go to insert and let's insert this text coffee sales dashboard, sales dashboard with Luca Studio. So you can call it whichever name you like. So any name you want to call it, so you can call it whichever name you like. So let's just go here and make this. So let's just centralize this. Okay. Let's make this bold. Maybe increase it to 16, then unbold it. Okay, then let's move it down here. Okay, officers dashboard will look at studio. So let's make this 18. Let's see. Okay, not looking bad. Let's take this here to backward. So we can simply move this here. I think this looks good. So let's just move this here to this corner. All right. So the next thing we need to consider is okay, let's work on this too. This right here. So let's work on this and this. All right. So to do that, what we have to do is we have to calculate total sales. But before that, let's work on the shape. And to do that, let's say insert a triangle. Okay. So this looks good. Let's make this smaller. Make this smaller. Okay. So we have to change the color to coffee. Move this here. Then to make it curve, as you can see, this is kind of the sides are a bit curved. So to do that, we can just click on this and increase those, let's say 10 and see how it looks. Okay, not looking bad. So let's make it 15. Okay, not looking bad. I think this looks good. So we can simply increase it. So let's just go ahead and duplicate this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and this looks a bit bigger. I think with the text is going to look quite bigger. So let's just go ahead and duplicate this, duplicate this. Okay, so we can go ahead and right click, then distribute to. Okay, distribute horizontally and distribute vertically. Okay, so mhm, I think this looks perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's push this down a bit. So the next thing we have to do is let's go ahead and add our go ahead and do our calculations. So we need to calculate total sales, total, let's hover, total transactions, total quantity, and product type. All right. So now to calculate our total sales, what we have to do is go here and add a field. Then you click on calculated field. Okay. So let's call this total sales. That's what we are trying to calculate. All right. So this feed ID is not necessary. You can just leave it as it is, or you can just say total underscore sales. But you can leave it as it is. So now to calculate our total sales, what we have to do is sum, okay? Oh, sorry, sum, okay? Then we click on, we'll find our table here. Let's look for units price, okay? Then we times it by our transaction quantity times. So this times transaction quantity. Okay. So let's save this. Then click on done. Okay. So it should come up. So as you can see, we have calculated our total sales over here. All right. Now to insert it, what we have to do is come over here and click on add charts. Okay, then we use the scorecard for this. All right, now so this is it. So what we have to do is we have to use this instead. Okay, so this gives us this, right? So let's just tweak this a bit to suit this properly. So to do that, let's go to style. Okay, so here this is actually to add our decimal points. All right, so this is what this does. But let's leave this at one. Okay. So what else do we have to do? This is giving us 28. So let's reduce this to 24. Okay. It's not looking bad. So let's change fonts to quicksand for uniformity because that's what we have been using the whole time, right? So let's centralize all this. So what else do we have to do? Okay, show on hover. Header font, let's make it black. Okay, then let's move this up a bit. So let's make this text white. So let's move it here. Okay, so this is not looking bad. Order and going to font. Okay, cool. So let's move this here. Okay, so I think this is looking perfect. But why do I feel like the total sales is not bold enough? So let's go back and do style. Let's see if we can increase that. Let's go to setup. Okay, matrix. Go back to style. Okay. Okay. So this is our title. Okay. Okay. Hmm. So let's just go ahead and off this title. Right. So this conditional statement is just like our if statement in Python. So I I want us to increase this right here, the total sales. So I'm actually trying to figure out how we can actually do that. Okay, are we sure? Okay, I'm not sure. I think it's better that way. 4. Okay, so I think we just have to leave it that way for now. Let's go ahead and make this a bit. Okay, so we can just centralize this. Just go ahead and center. So, so that's it. Alright, so the next thing we have to calculate is total transactions. Okay, total transactions. Now to do that, another thing what we have to do just like before is add chart. Okay, first we have to calculate for that. Alright, so we have to add a field, calculated field, then let's call this start working on total transactions. So let's call this total transactions. Total transactions. All right, so to calculate our total transactions, all we have to do is we have to, so to calculate our total transactions, we just have to count the distinct total transactions ID we have. All right, and to do that, we use the formula count. Can just use this, then total distinct. So we're counting distinct value. Okay, and we look for total transactions ID. Okay, so you can go ahead and save this now and done. So as you can see, we have successfully calculated our total transactions. All right. So to visualize this, we just have to go to add chart. This, let's click here. Okay. So we just have to move this to this. So that's it. So the same way, let's go ahead and customize this. Okay, let's just do onto, onto. Let's change the to quicksand for you. uniformity. We reduce this to 24 for uniformity. Take, okay. Now that was what I've been trying to figure out. Okay. So let's hide the field name, then go here and show title. Okay. So this was what I have been trying to figure out. So let's do the same for this. So here can be the title can be bolder. This can be bolder. So hide field title. Okay. Then show title. Okay. So we have to centralize that, then change the color to white. So I feel like the spaces between these two is much. So let's go ahead and figure out how we can reduce that. For then we have to change the font name. Okay, so to reduce that, I think to reduce that, I think that should be line height. So add it to 0. Okay, I think this makes sense now. So let's come back to this and let's work on this. Okay, so let's centralize this. Change font size to quicksand for uniformity. Okay, this is just to change it to up and down. I think I prefer it this way. So let's just leave it that way. Um, everything middle. Okay. Line height, let's put that 0. Let's move this here a bit up. Then we have to change the text color to white. I think that's the only thing we are missing out on. White. Okay. I think we also have to change the order to white. So okay. Um, change this to white. So we have to change the order to white. So to do that, we have to figure it out together. Okay, here we go. So change it to white. So then let's move this here. Okay, this looks good. So let's remove the okay style. Let's go ahead and do not show. Yes, align it center and align it middle. Okay, so I think this looks good. Looks good. Okay. So the next thing we have to calculate is, let's check this, total quantity, right? So let's go ahead and add new feed, calculated feed, okay? So we can simply call this total quantity, total quantity, okay? Now to calculate that, what we have to do is, so this is what we are calculating, right? This is what we are calculating. So to do that, we just have to do sum, okay? So you just go ahead and select this, right? So we just sum our total quantity. So let's look for our transaction quantity then. Okay. All right. So that's it. So let's just go ahead and call this total transaction quantity. Total transaction quantity. Okay, I think that's perfect. So let's go ahead and save and done. Now to visualize, we go ahead and add charts then total in here. Okay, so we replace this with this here. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is go ahead and style it. Firstly, we have to hide the name. Firstly, let's change to quicksand. Centralize everything, then reduce to 24 for uniformity. So let's go ahead and okay, just let this be unnecessary for now. So let's just go ahead and say do not show. So so we just go ahead and hide feed name. Then we can go ahead and show title. And let's just say total quantity as in QTY. Okay. Then we can go ahead and centralize this. Then let's go ahead and change this to 0. Okay. So reduce sizing. Can move this up. Then let's go ahead and turn this to white. Then turn the label to white. Okay, I think this looks perfect. Then we can move it here. Feel this is still looking further between both. So let's just go ahead and reduce this one. See. Okay. Height is 0. Alright. So we just have to go ahead and move this, move this, move this. Okay, it's looking good. And there's something different within this. So I think that should be go to style again and mm. So I want okay the decimal should be 1. Okay, decimal should be 1. So okay, let's turn this to quicksand for uniformity. Okay, so let's take this to 1 for uniformity. I'll go ahead and increase this a bit. So let's go ahead and centralize this then. Right click and center. Okay. Now the next thing we need to calculate is product type. All right. So let's go ahead and add calculated field. Okay. Now let's just call this product type. Product type. Okay. So looks good. Now to calculate the product type, all we have to do is count the distinct product type ID. All right. So to do that, let's just say count. Okay. Okay. This comes up already. Now we just have to look for product types. Okay. Now let's wait for this. Okay. So this works. Let's just say, let's just save this. Let's save this and done. All right, then let's go ahead and visualize this. Okay, so we just move folder type, we just move this here. Okay, so that's it, 29. So let's just go ahead and style this just like the rest. First thing we have to do is show title, show title, product type. Okay, this works. Let's change this to quicksand. Then we can put this at the middle. Before changing it to white, let's go ahead and add decimal precision one. Let's take this to 24 for uniformity. Center all of this and do not show. Okay, we have to hide field name. Okay, so this is making more sense now. Now it should show. Now the next thing we have to do is let's go ahead and change label colors to white. Then we change this to white. Then let's move this up here. Okay, I think this looks good. But we have to reduce the sizing between them. So let's just go here and search quicksand. Okay, height should be 0. Okay, so this makes sense a bit. So can just simply centralize this by right clicking and center. Alright, so we have successfully done the calculations. But I think we still have one more calculations to do, which is this average transaction value. So to do that, let's go to insert, insert triangle. Okay, so we just have to carry this to suit. Right, so yes, perfect. Okay, so let's just check for this here, so we can go ahead and curve it. Make it 15. Okay, so curved, leave it at 10. Just increase this a bit. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is go ahead and look for this icon. All right. So to look for that icon, we have to go on Canva. Let's go ahead and delete this and say average, average transaction icon. Okay, should be elements. Average transaction icon. Average transaction icon. Graphics. Okay, this is looking good. Oh, this is not looking bad. So I think let's just use this. This looks good to me. So let's just increase this. So we just have to look for coffee color, which is this. Is it the same? So let's make use of this to see. So I think this is the coffee color. So, so let's just go ahead and resize this.